Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We from Group 7 will present material regarding the agreement and discuss TOEIC exercise. Before that, I'm going to introduce the member of Group 7. There is Meysa Nurviani Hasanah, Muhammad Raihan Suryaman, Mustika Faridah, and Salwa Afifah Putri. Agreement. Expression of agreement is used to express approval of an opinion. Here's a good list of expression to agree in English. I agree. That's right. You're right. I know. Great idea. Fine with me. Exactly. Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. I certainly agree with you. I fully support the idea. You can say that again. You're telling me. For example, nowadays, cell phone is very important for almost everyone, including us as a student. Yes, I agree. We can do many things by using cell phone. Partially agreement. Sometimes when discussing something in speaking or writing form, we may agree with some aspects of what is being discussed, but not necessarily 100%. In those cases, we can use some expression to say that we agree, but not completely. That is, we partially agree. Here's a good list of expression to partially agreement in English. I agree with you up to a point. I see what you mean, but that idea is okay. But I understand that. But for example, I think because actress B is the co-star, actor A got his confidence. That's true, but his acting is already good since the previous movie. Disagreement. Now we will take a look at some disagreement expression. In this case, I thought to tell you it might sound quite rude if we simply say, I don't agree. For this reason, here's a good list of expressions to disagree in English. I'm afraid. I'm sorry, but. You may be right, but. That might be true, but. I beg to differ. I don't agree with you on that or what you say. I don't think you're right. I don't share your view. I think otherwise. I take a different view. I believe your argument doesn't hold water. I'm not sure I agree with you. That doesn't make much sense to me. That's not always the case. Or that's not always or necessarily true. For example, the acting of actor A really helps. At least I could feel his emotion. I'm not sure about that. I think because of actress B is the co-star, actor A got his confidence.
For the incomplete sentence section, let's start answer the following question. Number 1. Susan often blah 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 her car to school last semester. A. Got on. B. Went with. C. Rode. D. Drove. The answer is D. Drove because drove that mess of the sentence. Number 2. Larry and Esther are doing blah 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 homework. A. Their. B. His. C. Her. D. Its. The answer is A. Their. Number 3. Sandy wrote a letter to her parents and sent it to blah 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 yesterday. A. Herself. B. The parents. C. It. D. Them. The answer is D, them, because them is used as a pronoun for parents. Number 4, teaching children blah 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 not easy. A, are, B, is, C, were, D, them. The answer is B, is, because is the match of the sentence. Number 5. Either Bill or we blah 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 supposed to contact Sylvia about the meeting. A is, B could, C was, D were. The answer is D, were, because were that match of the sentence. Number 6. Kim Jones together with her roommate blah 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 to write a letter to the campus newspaper. A will, B are, C is going, D wills. The answer is C, is going, because is going that match of the sentence. Number 7. Most of the fish I caught blah 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 too small to bring home. A will, B am, C were, D was. The answer is C, were. Number 8. The pencil needs to be blah blah blah. A made, B used, C sharpened, D pointed. The answer is C, sharpened, because sharpened that match of the sentence. Number 9. 2/4 of the land blah 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 sold to investors. A will, B have, C have been, D has been. The answer is D has been. Number 10. I would like to buy some of blah 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 meat. A that, B it, C this, D they. The answer is A, that. 11. Many of the audience members at the concert forgot to bring blah 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 umbrellas. A their, B his, C our, D theirs. The answer is A, their. Number 12. There seem to be some students who are blah 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 to the new uniform. A opposite, B opposite, C opposition, D for. The answer is A opposite, because opposite that match of the sentence. Number 13. Neither Professor Johnson nor his student blah 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 going to join the project. A will, B is, C are, D either. The answer is C, are. 14. 50 cents blah 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 how much I owe you. A does, B are, C do, D is. The answer is D, is, because is the match of the sentence. Number 15. The couple paint their house blah blah blah. A herself, B themselves, C his or herself, D himself. The answer is B themselves, because themselves that match of the sentence.
For the incomplete text section, let's start answering the following questions. Number 1. One of the most mysterious places, blah blah blah, world is a small island off the coast of South America. A. Of the, B. On the, C. In the, D. Around the. The correct answer is C, because in the context of place or location, the use of the word in has a very general or broad scope, while the use of the word on is used for a more detailed example. Number 2, called Easter Island. Easter Island is home to thousands of giant stone figures called moai. The circle the island looking outward towards the sea. The island's real name is Rapa Nui, but is called Easter Island because it was first blah 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 by Europeans on Easter Sunday 1722. A. Made, B. Known about, C. Discovered, D. Built. The correct answer is C because the word discovered is more suitable for the sentence. Number 3. The island used to be blah 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 to thousands of Pacific Island people who carved the giant moai out of volcanic. A. House, B. Home, C. Live by, D. Populates. The correct answer is C because the word live by is more suitable for the sentence. Number 4. Rock and placed them along the beaches of the island. No one knows exactly why the people of Easter Island carved the giant stone statues. Some people say it was to keep away evil spirits, and others say it was a way to honor their ancestor. But blah blah blah, it is still a mystery. A. True, B. The story, C. Still, D. Really. The correct answer is B because the word of the story is more suitable for the sentence. Number 5. Most people assume that when an artist makes a work of art, the artist intends on the artwork being around for a long time. Sculptures and paintings that have been around for hundreds of years can still be enjoyed by art, blah blah blah, today. A. People, B. Makers, C. Lovers, D. Haters. The correct answer is C because art can be enjoyed or liked by anyone. It does not have to be art makers or art people who enjoys works of art. And for option D, I don't think it's right because people who enjoy art are people who like art, not people who hate art. Number 6. But in Tibet, a special type of painting is made that is not meant to be enjoyed for very long. These are Tibetan Buddhist sand paintings. Sand paintings are usually paintings of mandalas or circular design that are done using various color blah 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 of sand. A. Grains, B. Lamps, C. Tubes, D. Stones. The correct answer is A because what is used is colored sand grains, not lamps, tubes, or stone. Number 7. Some sand paintings are quite large and may take months to complete. The paintings are usually done blah 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 a festival. Then, on the day of the festival, the paintings are revealed. A. During, B. Before, C. After, D. With. The correct answer is B because on the day of the festival, the painting will be shown to the people. Number 8. People enjoy them for a short while and then they let the wind blow the sand away. Buddhists believe that sand paintings help us understand how blah 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 our lives are. A. Dirty, B. Sandy, C. Exciting, D. Temporary. The correct answer is D because according to the source I read, the act of recrossing the sand or letting it blow in the wind is meant to teach us not to cling to worldly things and symbolizes the impermanence of all earthly material things. Number 9. When we think of graffiti, we blah 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 think of some kids with a can of spray paint writing there. A. Always, B. Usually, C. Rarely, D. Never. The correct answer is B because the word usually is more suitable for the sentence. Number 10. Name on the side of a wall. But did you know that graffiti has been around for thousands of years? The oldest known graffiti comes from Egypt. Some of the workers who built the pyramid were known to have scratched their names on some of the blah 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 stones over 2,500 years ago. A. Big, B. Reason, C. Writing, D. Workers. The correct answer is A, because the word big is more suitable for the sentence. Number 11. Graffiti shows up in the strangest of places during World War II. Allied soldiers used to write graffiti on the sides of bombs and artillery shells before blah 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 them at the enemy. A. Throwing, B. Giving, C. Sending, D. Firing. The correct answer is E, because the word throwing is more suitable for the sentence. Number 12. Blah 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 graffiti is seen as a type of urban art form. Many cities hold graffiti contests where groups of artists called crew compete to see who has the best artistic skills. A. In the past, B. At this time, C. Nowadays, D. In the future. The correct answer is C, because the word nowadays is more suitable for the sentence.
Reading comprehension, let's read the text on the screen. Paintbrush storage tips. Good paintbrushes can be very expensive, so we here at Hobby Artist Magazine have made some suggestions to help keep your paintbrushes in good shape. First, always clean your brushes right after using them, because some paints have acids that can weaken the brush over time. Second, clean your brushes with a mild cleaner. We recommend a mixture of 1 part alcohol and 3 parts water. Finally, store your brushes with the tips up. This allows them to dry more quickly. Remember to keep your paintbrushes in good shape. Number 1. Who will be most interested in an article like this? A. A mechanic, B. A professor, C. A surgeon, or D. A painter? The correct answer is D. A painter, because paintbrush is an equipment for a painter. Number 2. What is a good cleaning solution for paintbrushes? A. 1 part alcohol and 3 parts water, B. 2 parts alcohol and 2 parts water, C. Water, or D. Strong chemicals. The correct answer is A. 1 part alcohol and 3 parts water. The answer can be found on the text on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on row 6. Number 3. According to the text, how are paintbrushes best stored? A. On their sides, B. In a wooden box, C. With their tips up, or D. With their tips down. The correct answer is C. With their tips up. This answer can be found on the finally suggestions. Now, number 4. How many store branches does the art shop have? A. 1, B. 6, C. 10, or D. The article doesn't say. Let's read the first paragraph. The Art Shopee, Europe's biggest and most exciting art supply superstore, is opening a new store in the downtown area. To celebrate this exciting event, all 6 Art Shopee store branches are having a buy one get one free sale. So, the correct answer is B6, because the answer is mentioned on the last sentence on the first paragraph, in the first paragraph. Now, next, number 5. According to the advertisement, what do you get if you buy a painting at the Art Shopee? Because they having a buy one get one free sale. If you buy a painting at the Art Shopee, so you will get another painting. The correct answer is C, another painting. Number 6. What does the offer not apply to? A. Animal paintings, B. Watercolor paintings, C. Landscape paintings, or D. Portraits? The correct answer is mentioned in the text. On the below of the text, there is a not. Offer doesn't apply to watercolors. So the correct answer is B. Watercolor paintings. Number 7. What classes are offered on Wednesday evenings? A. Photography, B. Painting, C. Flower arranging, or D. Sculpture? Let's read the last paragraph because the correct answer is in the last paragraph. The art shopee also offers painting classes for all levels beginning through advanced. On Wednesday evening from 6 until 8, the art shopee also offers sculpture classes. So the correct answer is D, sculpture. Question number 8 through 11 refer to the following letter. So let's read the letter. Dear Grandma and Grandpa, thank you both for the wonderful wedding present. Both Jill and I have always wanted to go to France and visit the many museums. We were so shocked when we first saw the airplane tickets that we almost fainted. It was more than we could have hoped to receive airplane tickets to France as a wedding present. Paris is wonderful. The only trouble is trying to decide where to go. I want to go to the museums, but Jill wants to see some of the beautiful traditional churches. In the end, we decided to see the church in the morning when the weather is cool, and the museums in the afternoon because they have air conditioned. This allows us to get the most sightseeing done during our 2-week stay. There are many coffee shops too. Jill likes sitting outside and watching people, but I like sitting inside where I can enjoy the smell of the coffee. French coffees are so much more aromatic and stronger than the coffee we are used to back home. Thanks again for the lovely trip. We sent you a postcard, but I think we will arrive back home before you get it. It is a picture of the Eiffel Tower. Love, Freddie and Jill. Number 8. What did Freddie's grandparents give him and Jill for a wedding present? A. A cake, B. Some coffee, C. A trip to France, or D. Tickets to a museum? The correct answer is C. A trip to France. Number 9. Based on this letter, which of the following could be inferred? A. Freddie is an indoor person and Jill is an outdoor person. B. Freddie is an outdoor person and Jill is an indoor person. C. Both Freddie and Jill are indoor people. Or D. Freddie and Jill hate to travel. Based on the letter, we know that Freddie is an indoor person and Jill is an outdoor person. So the correct answer is A. Next, number 10. Why did they decide to visit the museums in the afternoon? Based on the letter, row 8, we know that Freddie and Jill go to the museum in the afternoon because they have air conditioned. So the correct answer is C. The weather is hot and the museums have air conditioning. Number 11. How long was their trip? A. 1 week, B. 2 weeks, C. 1 month, or D. The reading doesn't say. The correct answer is D. 2 weeks. Question number 12 through 16 refer to the following survey results. What do students consider to be art? According to the World Arts Council, most students who were asked this question considered art to be painting. Almost 70% of students aged 15 through 18 said that painting was art. This takes into account all manner of painting from watercolor to pastels, oils, and acrylics. A much smaller number, 20%, said that sculpture was art. This number includes students who said that sculpture included wood and clay. 8% said that stone sculpture was art. Only 2% of the students surveyed thought that working with wood was art. I think that paintings are artistic, one student said, but sculpture isn't. According to Lisa Meltzer, art director at Bandas University, students tend to associate art with color. Things that lack color are not considered art. This research will be used in the future to help better develop high school and university art curriculums. Number 12. What was the age range of the students interviewed? We know that the age range of the students interviewed between 15 through 18. So the correct answer is C. Number 13. According to one art director, what do students associate art with? A. Color, B. Shape, C. Size, or D. Popularity. The correct answer is on the survey results, row 9. According to Lisa Melter, art director at Bandas University, students tend to associate art with color. So the correct answer is A. Number 14. According to the chart, what is the least likely to be considered art? A. Painting, B. Clay sculpture, C. Stone sculpture, or D. Woodworking. The correct answer is D. Woodworking, because woodworking has the smallest part on the diagrams. Newspaper clipping. Local high school teacher communicates with blind students via sculpture. Matt Creaborn, an art teacher at Crestview High School, recently began using sculpture to assist blind students with such subjects as math and geometry. He got the idea by watching the great Spanish sculptor Rigo Rossi use his hands to count off measurements as he sculpted. By using their hands, students can feel things like distance and spatial relationships, Mr. Creaborn said. This allows them to think abstractly, just like in geometry. Mr. Creaborn's technique will be tried in several other schools this fall, including 3 high schools for blind learners. According to Jim Miller, Director for Assisted Student Learning, Mr. Creaborn's methods should help visually impaired students match non-visually impaired students in terms of their test scores in mathematics. We are looking forward to big improvements in test scores in the next few years, Mr. Miller said. Number 15, according to the newspaper clipping, which students are Mr. Creaborn's classes for? A. Students who cannot see, B. Students who cannot hear, C. Students who cannot taste, or D. Students who cannot feel. Based on the first sentence, local high school teacher communicate with blind. Blind means cannot see. So the correct answer is A. Students who cannot see. Number 16, according to the newspaper clipping, what benefit will Mr. Creaborn's technique have on the students? A. Test scores will go up. B. Test scores will go down. C. Test scores will stay the same. Or D. The article doesn't say. The correct answer is A. Test scores will go up. That's all on the reading comprehension.
That's all from Group 7. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.